and we are here on KALX Berkeley 90.7 FM. My name is Pacifica, and we have the Breedloves in studio. Say hello.
Hey. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
All right.
Thanks again for having us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. So we just heard 5 wonderful songs from you guys. Super exciting. And I guess now it is time for our interview. So let's get started. No more yapping from me. So my first question to you is, this one's pretty simple. Why the ukulele? Let's go back to the beginning. The ukulele, it has kind of a reputation as a simple instrument, just 4 strings. It's very small. And yet it is able to be played in so many different ways. So where did this all start?
It was an accident.
Lean into the mic.
It was an actual accident. Barbara, unfortunately, broke her ankle at one of our shows when we were leaving. Mm-hmm. And so during her rehab, she wanted to play an instrument, and the bed was a little too small to be having a full-size guitar. So we got a ukulele, and she puttered around on it and played it a little bit. And one day during rehab, it was like 3 days, I was sitting there.
I was there for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but about on the 3rd day, I started messing around on it, and by the time she got out of rehab, we were doing shows, me playing ukulele, and I don't remember not playing ukulele. I've been playing guitar 40 years, and ukulele is this new instrument I've been playing. And got endorsements. Some of the pros come to my classes and things like that. So I've been blessed enough to share what I know, which is self-taught from my guitar playing.
Yes.
So it was a beautiful little accidental thing that happened in my music career way later in my life than I thought it's like I've been training for football and found out I was good at golf. I love the instrument, and it inspires me. It's really, I do play it a little different than everybody. Even Jake Shimabukura and some of the pros were like, I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, I don't know who to copy. I don't know. I'm just playing the instrument.
Yeah.
I'm traditionally learning as I go about more traditional ukulele playing, which I love. But I like doing what I do and expressing what I want to express. So it's always been just natural. I don't know why. It picked me. I didn't pick it. So
I like seeing the look on people's faces when they see Jay go off on that ukulele. It's the coolest thing. I mean, he's literally dropped jaws every gig we ever perform, and it's pretty cool to watch.
I mean, the thing is, it's normal to see someone shred on the guitar. To see someone shred on the ukulele, that's not really normal. It's
no, it's not. We have a friend that actually say it's illegal use of ukulele.
Yeah,
he coined that phrase.
Mark,
and he has actually a picture of me standing next to some highway patrol guys that are facing the other way, and the caption is, "Oh, yeah, I see him. He's over there."
So album cover?
Yeah, we're gonna.
That's a good
yeah. Illegal use of ukulele.
Album name?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my, that's good. That's a really good idea.
So I am curious to know, what is also your experience with guitar? You were talking a lot about how you were very experienced with guitar, and then the ukulele kind of chose you. So what was your music background before you found yourself gravitating towards the ukulele?
I've done a little bit of everything from PlayStation games to working with hip-hop artists.
Nice.
It's just
one thing I got to say real quick.
What?
This is super important because he said earlier that he's been playing guitar for 40 years.
Yes.
He's going to be 60, so it's not been 40 years.
Oh, my
it's been,
God,
it's
Lord.
been like more like 50 years.
No, 45 years.
45
years. Okay.
Good
So.
Lord, don't be giving away my age.
Sorry.
She's asking the questions, not you. I mean.
So you said you've done PlayStation games and hip-hop collabs.
I've done a little
Wild.
bit of everything. I've worked with Eddie Van Halen.
Wow.
I've been blessed to have been actually a gun for hire from a real young age, probably about 16. Grew up with Kirk Hammett, went to school together. My background's pretty much self-taught, even though I took probably some basic classes in school.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. B in heaven. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I'm self-taught, so my system of what I'm looking at and how I understand the guitar, when I started playing ukulele, I had to realize, like, what am I looking at? I don't want to relearn an instrument right away. I had to figure out if it coincided with the guitar, which it does really completely. If anybody's wondering, put a capo on the 5th fret of a guitar, and you got a big ukulele. I don't know, I just took to it naturally. I can't even. I used
Yeah.
to make fun of my friends who played ukulele, and they're all like, "Dude, what happened?" I'm like, "I don't know. I really don't remember not playing ukulele. So
Yeah.
my guitar playing has been real extensive, but like I told her, between Hendrix and all the greats that play, we've pretty much done about as much as we can do with the guitar to a certain extent. So
Yes.
me picking up another instrument refreshed my musical. I didn't try doing it. It happened
Yeah.
accidentally. So everybody's like, "You reinvented yourself." I'm like, "No, I didn't try to. The instrument did this for me." So I can play guitar better now than I did prior.
Yeah.
There's things I used to struggle on guitar that now, because of playing ukulele, that's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, those of us with the tiny hands,
Oh.
you know.
But yeah, so my guitar, probably I seriously started playing when I was probably 12 or 13. But I've always loved music.
Yes.
I even played air guitar before I played guitar. And when I play guitar, it was the same emotions, the same.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm just pretending.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, I'm throwing a tantrum, my music's coming out. I don't know how to explain it. My musical Tourette's is awesome.
Yeah.
It just, and as a musician, I always tell everybody, every style you play, you want to learn a little bit about jazz. It helps you, just in case you play yourself into a corner of music, you know how to change or get out of. Music's perfect until it's not, and you got to know how to get out of it and make it land on your feet during the song. Like today when we're playing. When we perform live, we get lucky, I say, because a lot of times it's note for note. We don't really make mistakes.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's like two bumblebees bumping into each other. It really doesn't. You don't hear it happen like with a full band where when someone messes up, it really is noticeable.
Right.
But to your question, I played music and guitar pretty much most of my life, and I'm self-taught.
Nice.
But if you take guitar lessons and you want to come hang out, I'll show
Aw.
you my techniques. We give lessons to kids for free.
Yes.
Grown-ups, I don't even really charge until you're actually getting something out of it. So don't take advantage of me, but I'll leave it at, I'll give you your money's worth. And if you're not learning anything from it, I'm not going to charge anybody. I really haven't never
Right.
charged anybody who's not grasping what I'm trying to teach them, even on a real basic level.
Of course.
But thing is with music is have fun.
So we will get into the questions about teaching kids and all of that later. But I do have one more geeking out over instruments question, which is, what's it like to play a 12-string?
Oh, my goodness.
I could not dream of playing a 12-string because I have tiny hands and tiny weak fingers.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was around 11 or 12. And my father, God rest his soul, Sal Caruso, he had his own band, the Sal Caruso Orchestra, old school Sicilian, all the way hardcore old school Sicilian. And he wanted me to play with my Barbie dolls, not with a guitar, because he associated that with, smoky bars and men.
Yeah.
And back then when you can smoke in a bar. So my mom was always really, encouraging and wanting me to play. She played the piano. My dad played bass, mainly mandolin and guitar. And I babysat, I saved money and bought my first 6-string. It was a Yamaha 6-string. And then here I am, like, few years later, 4 years later, my father, when I turned 18, finally realized how serious I was about playing guitar, and he got me a 12-string Yamaha. And I still have that today. It's been in a case for years. I haven't played it in a while because I don't want anything to happen to it. But let me tell you, when I open up that case, it stays in tune. I haven't touched that guitar.
I want to add to this. No one in the whole music business that I've ever met ever plays 12-string 3 hours straight like Barbara. That's her go-to weapon. 98 to 99% of the time, that's her go-to. And all the pros go like, how's she doing that? You guys need to see her calluses and you would know it's not magic. It's real.
Well, I think I worked at a law firm for 30 years, so my hands are really strong, from all that typing. I think that probably has a lot to do with it. But I love the sound of a 12-string. I always heard a quote from Tom Petty where he said, I may not be a great lead guitarist, but I'm one hell of a rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
And, I as far as playing a 12-string, I just love the sounds that come out of it, and I've never really...
It's a big part of our sound, too.
Yeah.
I've not been motivated, or I didn't really want to learn to play lead like Jay. I mean, I wish I could. I probably could if I focused on it, but I just love what I'm doing. So I was like, I don't want to change it.
She actually can play lead, and I laugh because she does play that good, and it just cracks me up because her face is like a little kid, just totally shocked that she can play it so well.
Well, some things do come natural, like you said, right?
Yeah.
But yes, I love playing my 12-string, and Breedlove, they endorsed us after we told them the story that I told earlier, and they just they love our music as well, and I love my 12-string Breedlove, and that's pretty much my go-to. And my Jimmy Dunlop capo that was will be coming out on the market soon. He asked for my input because he making a 12 capo for a 12-string because they're really hard to find a good one.
No one has mastered it yet.
Yeah.
No one has mastered it yet, but he has. Finally.
He has mastered this capo, and it is the most awesome. I've used it hundreds of times, and it's not broken. His capo is not broken. It's
She's
perfect.
lost it twice and never said anything, but I could tell there was something bothering
I call
her.
it
And
temporarily.
she would find it, and I heard her go, "Yeah." It could be a couple of days. Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, good, she found it."
Well, one time it fell out of my
purse. And she'll tell me after she refines
under the table,
it.
And I just was freaking out because I couldn't find it. And it's a prototype that I have because
so there's two in the whole world.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention the price.
Yeah, it's a lot. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I just I love my 12-string and I love playing it. And,
you're playing for two.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's true.
This is fascinating stuff. I mean, already I think the pull of the 12-string is that you're one person playing basically a guitar that sounds like 10 people play guitar.
Right.
Just crazy. Also certainly very valuable when there's just two of you out there and you sound like 10 people playing. But one thing that especially sticks out when you listen to you playing live, as well as knowing the sort of venues that you play at, is again, you're really into ambient, which I think is so cool. Specifically, you're really into this tropical ambient. You talk a lot about Hawaii, you talk about San Luis Obispo, you talk about nature a lot. And again, it's of course a natural genre to gravitate towards with the instruments that you play, but you also play a lot in these live settings. You were telling me, yes, last night you were playing at an Italian restaurant and the place was packed. So my question to you is, what is different about playing ambient shows where you're supposed to be background noise as opposed to when you're just playing in front of an audience?
That is the best question ever asked. You sure you're not a musician? That is so important. And with us, we've played in the past 15 years every situation.
Every scenario possible.
Opening up for Eddie Money to playing just background music at a winery that we were supposed to just. And sometimes it sticks to that. And then there's other times I have to entertain myself, and next thing, everybody's paying attention.
Yeah.
And we've actually had restaurants say, all the food went cold and the drinks got warm because everybody started facing you and not having their meals. We've never had that before, kind of thing. We thought, well, that's wonderful because, you want to captivate audiences when you're hired to do that.
Right.
But even ambient sometimes turns into a little bit more than that, and we don't always do it on purpose. We stick to the rules that we're supposed to be doing what we're hired for.
Yeah.
But there's settings where, again, with musicians, you got to be flexible to be able to, we're like acoustic DJs most of the time.
Yes.
So we have to, even if someone's not liking a song we're playing, I know what song to switch over to. So we don't work with the set list all the time, depending on if we're opening for a band, we have a music. Like today, we had a schedule.
Yes.
We're going to pick a set list.
Right.
Otherwise, we're playing off the audience in the crowd.
We'll do a 3-hour show without a set list.
Or if it's going to be, chop people's heads off, everybody wants to watch, kind of thing. So I probably break the rules in both directions sometimes. We might go more mellow than people want sometimes in certain venues just to give the audience a break.
Right.
Give some for the ladies because sometimes they want more of a love song or something cool.
Cute.
So we know her wheelhouse is a lot of Stevie Nicks and things like that. So we'll go to that.
You got the flowy Stevie Nicks dress going on.
Then I'll do a cool lead that's entertaining to me and the guys. And so I'm not doing it on purpose. It's real life.
Yeah.
And like you said, same thing with us playing in nature settings. I've never tried to write something. They just happen. I've been blessed my whole life like that. Until I got older, realizing how magical that actually is. 'Cause I work with pros. They're like, dude, how does this happen? I'm like, God, spirit, whatever it is. I kind of just channel this beautiful music. And I play with a lot of people. But my fun time playing is with her. It's so natural. We don't even. It's so natural. It's unbelievable.
Well, when we're by the ocean, for instance, and Jay taught me this, and I never knew this, and it's a true fact.
Yeah.
That
Test it.
The ocean is in the key of A. And people are like, what?
Key of A.
Let me tell
A
you.
major
When the
to be
waves
exact.
crash on the sand, it is in the key of A.
The trick with that is that means there's more than one note to make a chord.
Right.
So we're
It's
talking
the
about the
overtones.
air, the wave, and the sand, or whatever it is causing it. That's why when you go to the beach, it seems so calming. And when the birds and the seagulls and all those noises that goes with it is in perfect key.
Yep.
So go hit a A note at the
At the
beach, and you
ocean.
tell me if I'm wrong or not. But I'm guarantee
Wow.
you'll go, wow, how did you figure that out?
So
I've
we have
actually,
some
I've
song-
actually been out of tune from the ukulele or guitar being in the car, and don't have the tuner, and I'll tune it at the beach. And we go back, I check it, it's always perfect.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That's pretty cool. And we have
Yeah.
some really beautiful songs that are in the key of A.
Yes.
But, we get motivated, inspired, I'm going to say, when we
Since
travel.
we go to the desert,
Like,
so we got songs
Palm
like Coachella
Springs,
and stuff like that are written in the desert. And you can tell the ones from Vegas, you can just tell where it was written. It's not really, you have to, she explains them, but
Yeah.
once you know and you look at the titles and you get to know our music, you're like, wow, how did you do that? I'm like,
And they're instrumentals.
Yeah.
So the melody line that Jay creates tells the story. It's not like what's
it's
the word?
world music, universal. I don't want to have to, I want everybody to enjoy our music, not have to listen to the lyrics and pigeonhole it just for that kind of style of music. So we kind of just do our thing, and she lets me do my thing. I let her do her thing, and I cater to what she wants to play.
I love it. We're
And
so lucky.
we get lucky.
We do. We play with the full band.
Yes.
We have an awesome drummer, Ron Newhouse, and we have Danny Cronin on bass. And we will be at the Fourth Bore on May 23rd.
Nice.
We're actually Jay and I are going to be at the Pleasant Hill Art and Wine Festival.
Oh.
Wait a minute, let me back up. We're
I'm
going to be
just
at the No
finding
Name
this
Bar
out.
on Tuesday. And Saucy Tomato, I call it Saucy Tomato,
Sausalito.
And
And we have a lot of songs
but
we
we
wrote
do.
there.
We play with the band.
Actually, our first release single is a song called
Sausalito.
Sausalito.
Yes.
A good friend of ours named Vino made the video
my
that's
God.
online. It's really, really beautiful.
It's like
And it
15
goes
years ago, but it looked like
perfect.
we were 18 in the video. I look at it now going like, we were 40 something. I look like I'm 20 in that video.
Well, Sausalito is such a beautiful town, and we perform it. Didn't we perform it once and somebody said I felt like I was in Sausalito?
Yeah.
I'm like, we didn't even tell them the name of the song or something.
Yeah.
Crazy things like that happen with us all the time. We were playing a show last night, and this guy and his wife come and see us a lot.
Yeah.
And Jay went to go get something out of the car for our setup, and he says, "How does Jay do that? How does he come up with those melodies?" And I'm like, I'm playing chords, and Jay will say, "Just keep playing those chords. Just keep playing those chords. Just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll just keep doing it, whether it's 10 chords or 3 chords or 2 chords." And he just writes this beautiful melody that just, I don't know how he does it.
What
Nobody I know does that.
What I trip on the most is 15 years later, the songs, when we play them, I'm playing note for note. I'm going like, who wrote this? And how do I know how to play it?
When we're
And it's
warming
kind of
up,
mind-blowing
there was a song
to myself.
when I was doing a setup, right? I started playing these chords, and I remembered a song that we haven't played in years. And he started playing the melody on the ukulele when he usually
it's written
plays
on the
for the
guitar.
guitar.
Aw.
And I'm looking at her going like, I just
I like, how did you just remember that? And
transposed it. My brain just went like, well, don't do this notes, play these notes. I'm like, all right.
oh my gosh! But yeah,
Cute.
it's just so amazing. I'm just so blessed.
Yes.
Very, very blessed.
So I have heard you play live once, actually, before this, which was at Salon of Stroll, which is how I discovered you, which is
wow.
what led me to invite you to come play here. And that was also just the two of you. But when you do play with a full band, is it more jazz, or is it just, is it sort of like you're leading and they're kind of backing? Does the style of your music change at all when it's a full band?
Well,
as opposed to you?
I play more electric guitar
Right.
when it's the full band. Where when it's me and her, I predominantly play acoustic guitar and ukulele.
We'll do cover songs, but we make them
Right.
our own, and they're
Yes.
not going to be like
Well,
exact.
We speed the tempo up or break it down. We just change it up. And also, when we play, we have a lot of drummer friends. Not nothing against you, Rania. We love you. But we have a lot of replacement and people that we not say rotate, but
Right.
we work with, and some of them are out of town. So when we travel, it's easy for us to get a bass player and a drummer, or maybe in a horn section, or background singers, whatever we need. So we've always been lucky with that. But yeah, it's a totally different animal to a certain extent. Again, I don't always tell the drummer or the bass player what to play if they're good enough. I'd rather have subtle changes in some of the songs that we have a schedule or maybe a tempo, and I'll let the drummer do whatever he's doing, and we fit in the groove, and so we let the band kind of evolve depending on who we're working with, and also who to hire for certain types of, be it more dance music, more ambient, just in the background kind of things. So it kind of it's two different things. But some songs could be, we go do the same songs in some of the sets, but the approach is totally different.
Got it.
More aggressive, possibly with the full band, stuff like that. So
more people to fight.
Yeah,
I get it.
And I like entertaining myself sometimes, because as a musician, if you play the same song over and over again, you have to figure out how to love that song over and over again.
Right.
And it's not fake. I'm actually really enjoying it every time, and the audience can tell that we're not faking it. So even we never rehearse.
No, we
when
don't.
I say we rehearse, we even with our band, we don't rehearse.
Nope, we just show up and do a gig with them.
One time, either they're close friends that hung around with us enough to know what type of music we play, and most of these people also go to church together and play in bands at churches, and so they're very attentive. Even if something they don't know, they're very attentive. And it's really easy to play without rehearsing.
I got to tell this really quick story. You'll remember this. So Jay and I were playing at Luca Bar and Grill with our band, with Danny and with Ron, and that song that we played earlier, "To Hawaii," they had never heard it. And we've never played it with a band before. It was the first time, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys!" It kind of goes like,
Well, they were taking a break, and we kind of were getting ready to play again, and they were late to the stage. So I'm like, "Let's just start playing one of our songs that we would just do by ourselves."
And it was the most.
And they jumped in, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Well, we have to add that."
I'm
to
like
the
looking
set.
over at Danny, like, "What?"
Like I said, there's certain songs that we do by ourselves that we don't do with the full band.
Yeah.
Just because they're intimate enough where we wrote it that way, and kind of wanted to keep it just
like
small
made
and
from
intimate.
scratch.
Yeah.
My mom's song. We wouldn't play that with the band.
No, I mean,
Right.
Not that it wouldn't be cool, but it just out of respect for the song, how it was written, and the way it feels, we kind of. But then there's other songs that say we butcher, but we kind of make them our own, and and some people are like, "Yeah, the tempo's not going that fast." I'm like, "Well, the real original, listen to it after you hear us play it, and you'll go like, I don't know if I like the original anymore. I can't even find the groove in that one now." I'm like, so it kind of it changes. That's the whole thing, and that's what makes it fun. And people who know us, we stick to our schedule, but there's pleasant surprises in most of our songs.
Right.
And I even shock her. She's like, "Well, why'd you do that? And why was that so cool? Are you gonna do that again in that song?" I'm like, "No, I'll find something else to. I'll stick in TV shows, cartoon little riffs, or people little melody lines you've heard from other things that aren't in the song I'm playing."
Yeah, he'll do Star
and I'll
Wars.
fit it in there.
The Star Wars theme in the middle of a song.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cute.
That's it. She
That's
got it.
cute.
Easter eggs in most of our songs, and so even for the people who come see us a lot, they see all those Easter eggs instantly.
Well, we did a show with our full band. I don't know, about a month ago, and I was joking with the band because I had a piece of paper and I said, "Here's our set list," and there was nothing on it. We just winged it the whole 3 hours.
Incredible.
We totally winged it. But that's how awesome they are.
Yeah.
That they could do. We could do that, and I just love playing with the band and with Jay because I'm so lucky like that.
All right. Before we get into talking about your guitar lessons and Guitars Not Guns, I want to get a legal ID from you because it's the top of the hour. So you can just say we're the Breedloves and you're listening to KALX Berkeley. You have to say KALX Berkeley, but we can clip this. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay, we are the Breedloves, and we are listening live here from KALX Berkeley.
Perfect. Okay, so now the moment you've been waiting for. You do guitar lessons to kids, and you are very active volunteers with Guitars Not Guns Contra Costa Division. So you can tell me a little bit about what that means, what drew you to this program, and just what it's like to give lessons to kids and see them learn this instrument that you've dedicated your lives to.
Well, It's beautiful, first of all, and it's a blessing to be able to do this. The program is called Guitars Not Guns, and it was created in the year 2000 from Ray and Louise Nelson. We lost Ray in 2024, January 2024, and his wife Louise is she's still on the executive board and doing what she can. She's slowing down a little bit, and I run the Contra Costa County chapter for 19 years now, and I haven't been the director for 19 years, more like 16 years.
Yes.
And I met Jay. We just had our 15-year anniversary.
Aw.
The day I met him, he's like, sign me up, I want to do this. So he's been volunteering along my side for 15 years. And we actually just graduated a class of 20 kids at the San Pablo Library. You go to the class the first night, and we give them a guitar, and you see their little faces shine, light up and shine up. And,
I was one of those little kids, not with our program, but I grew up in Richmond, so
music.
Yeah, music.
It's so important. You got.
Yes.
I mean, and I love playing all these venues because little kids need to see live performers.
Yes.
They can't just hear music from the radio. They have to see it live. And we've seen some kids that watch us that know that, oh my God, this kid. Jay and I know that kid's going to be a musician one day. And then we'll tell the parents, your kid's definitely gifted. We could see it. It's spotted a mile away. But the program is just so much fun seeing these kids that are really shy at the beginning. And then towards the end of the 8 weeks, because it's an 8-week program, 1 hour a week for 8 weeks, they are just, first of all, they learn how to play a song. We've been teaching them Three Little Birds for our first session. We are going to return at the San Pablo Library on June 3rd, and out of the 20 kids that we just taught, 15 of them have already signed up again. Aww. So we have a spot for 5 more kids, and the reason why those 5 didn't is because they're going to be going out of the country for the summer. And we might be able to take a few more kids, but we have enough. We don't have enough instructors. That's what I'm trying to say. We need more guitar instructors, volunteer guitar instructors. And although you're not going to get paid financially to be able to help us, what you'll get out of it is priceless.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the most beautiful gift to give somebody the gift of music. And I tell these kids, this is something that nobody will ever take away from you, especially a foster kid.
Yeah.
They get jerked around, moved around all these different houses. Sometimes they show up at a house with just the clothes on their back, and then at the end of the 8 weeks, and they learn that they get to keep the guitar because we don't really tell them. We tell them that they have to sign a contract, they have to come to the classes, they have to practice, and then they complain about their fingers hurting. I said, you just ratted yourself out because your fingers hurt. You should have calluses by now. So you should be able to play.
And she shows her calluses
showing my
and
calluses.
scares the kids.
Some of the kids go, ooh. And some of the kids are, wow. And then the girls are like, well, how do you play with nails? Well, I don't have nails. I keep them really short. It looks like I do because I do a French manicure. But I tell the kids, you got to really put into it. We're coming here as volunteers to teach you on our time. And you need to put your energy and efforts into it as well, because we're giving them the tools to do it.
We've gotten letters and parents and foster parents saying we changed those children's lives.
Yep.
She goes, she's getting up doing breakfast and doing the dishes, and I'm like, it's the music. Sometimes kids just need to focus on something besides a little something different in their environment. And I've had a little girl who never spoke to her foster parents for the first couple months that they adopted her. And she would only talk to her sister, and she started talking to me in the class, and then the mom and dad was crying. I'm like, what just happened? She goes, did she talk to you? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, she's not said a word to us. And it had to do with the music. And she goes, you just knocked down some walls that we were dealing with. I didn't even know it. I was like walking on eggshells for the rest of the 8 weeks, going like, just keep her, progressing. And she did, and it was really sweet because I said, it's not nothing me and Barb's, it's the music on top of it,
Yeah.
We have the program runs on volunteers and also fundraising. So all of the funds that we raise go directly to purchase the guitars. Our administrative cost for our chapter is really just our storage. We don't have, and then we spend a little bit of money at the graduation, but the libraries that host us when we do it, we do classes at different locations like the Family Justice Center,
Concord,
Boys and Girls
Pittsburgh.
Club, different different places that can host us. Youth Homes wants us to come there. We just need more volunteers and money. I know everybody needs money.
Yeah.
But we're running this program, and not having enough volunteers is frustrating because the need is so great. And we have the tools to be able to teach these kids that want it. Like that list signed up. We have a class in Concord coming up August 11th. I told them that it's okay to get 20 kids. But there could be 100 kids that want to do it.
Yeah.
And we could do that. Well, not really 100, but,
But
we just need more volunteers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a really beautiful thing. And
I mentioned autographed guitarist Sammy Hagar /
Sammy Hagar /
Anna
Nancy
Wilson
Wilson
they
of
help
Heart,
us
the
raise
Black
money.
Crows,
Nice.
Chris
Yeah.
and
They've all helped raise money.
and who else? Oh my God, Sting sent us a signature bass. Blondie, the band Blondie, the lead guitarist at the time, Paul Carbonara, he donated and had the whole band sign the guitar that he went on tour, a world tour with. So that was pretty cool. So we're hoping this summer, we have a couple of guitars that were donated that are high end, and we do that with them.
Yes.
Because we can't give them to a kid, right?
Right.
We
So we want to
could,
make
but-
more money out of a guitar like that, so we could buy more guitars.
Yes.
And we're hoping this summer, I'd love for Taylor Swift to sign a guitar for us. For
We have a tailor to have
we
her
have a
sign.
Taylor, and Taylor, if you're listening, would you please?
Somebody who knows her.
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar, you want to sign another guitar? You out there?
I can ask her sister.
Yeah, and Metallica. Oh my gosh! So let me tell you a story really quick. So
Okay.
last year we had a kid. His name's Aaron. He was 10 years old. He's 11 now, and he sat in the class the first couple of weeks, really quiet, just kind of playing the chords. We're teaching them the chords, and then one day after the class, he kind of stayed a little bit. And then one of our volunteer instructors, Jeffrey Kwan, started playing Metallica, Master of Puppets. And he was playing it with him. And I looked at Aaron and I go, you're playing Master of Puppets? Are you kidding me? And he's like, what? Like Jay, when I first met him, I didn't know he played guitar for months. And when he first played guitar, like I was just describing with Aaron, Jay was like, "What?" and then Aaron says, "Why? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing." So
He's
fast forward.
He's very good.
So at the graduation, the 8-week at that class, we told him to stay after class because we wanted to talk with him. And I already gave the parents a heads up. We gifted him an electric guitar and an amplifier. And then 2 days ago, I've been in touch with his mom. 2 days ago, we gifted him with a brand new Fender acoustic electric that was donated by KMC Music Corp and part of Fender, of course, Fender Distribution. And Aaron,
He's gonna be joining us for another class, but he's gonna be
He's gonna be a
actually
mentor.
he's gonna be a mentor and
Nice.
teacher.
and he's 11 years old. Isn't that
Wow.
great? So for a little kid to see a little kid to play like that, and I think it's going to encourage them to
Yeah.
want to play like that. You could do this too, right?
Absolutely.
And then I'll say again, you have to practice. You have to practice. I always tell kids, like, when I'm learning a song, I do it like a little chunk at a time.
Yeah.
Like I just learn that little part and then do it over and over and then until I can get it. And then when they realize what I'm explaining to them, and then they understand and they get it, it just makes the whole program worthwhile. I mean, it's like
Absolutely.
we're really, making a difference here.
All right. So one last question, kind of running out of time here, but we're totally good. Plug your socials and tell us when you'll be performing next.
Oh my gosh. So thank you very much. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We are on, we have a website and we have a link tree that has all of our
Breedloves.
sites. The Breedloves.rocks is our website.
Okay.
Our next show coming up here is going to be on Tuesday at the No Name Bar, and then Saturday at the Pleasant Hill Art and Wine Festival. Friday we're going to be in Danville at the brand new Canyon Club. There's one in Moraga. It's a really cool place, all age friendly. I love those, like I said, all age venues.
Pet and children.
What was that?
Pets.
Oh yeah, you can bring pets. Right? We should.
We
bring
brought our rabbit.
We have a bunny
Wow.
rabbit.
We have a
Her
bunny
name's Petey. She's my little snuggle bunny.
Cute.
But I was recently nominated and selected to receive the CBS Bay Area News Bay Area Icon Award, and I want to thank everybody for that. But also that would not have been possible without the volunteers in this program. So.
And me driving her around.
And Jay by my side. I was getting to that phase. I call his nickname is Face. Anyway. It's a long story. I want to get into it. But anyway, so our social media, we have It's pretty active. I'm always posting on there. As a matter of fact, I think we're live right now on Facebook. Hi. And Jay, you have to share that to our Facebook page. Yeah. The Breedloves band is the website on Facebook. And our music is available.
Our schedules on
our schedules on there. I also listed our past shows, and just so people could see like the different areas that we do perform in.
Yeah.
And we're always we take
anything from Tahoe to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Pretty much is our terrain area.
Yeah. And you know what? Wherever Jay and I go, we're together 24/7. Which is,
so wherever we go, we're together.
We have our instruments with us, our ukuleles, and we play.
Yes.
Everywhere we go. We'll take walks, and we'll be walking down this Loch Lomond path playing our ukuleles.
We're not the couple that bugs everybody, but we pick and we know when.
And we bring smiles to people's faces, and it's really, really beautiful thing to be able to do with somebody you're in love with,
Aww. All right. Well, thank you so much
you.
for being here.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
And let's get back into the music here. So I'm going to be with you until 3 p.m. Let's hear some Tommy Guerrero with the song Holding the Ocean. Thanks again, everybody.